14/20ths, right?
Yeah.
Minus what? 23/25. Okay? The first thing we have to do is we have to find the least common denominator of 20 and 25, which is 100. 20 into 100 goes how many times, everybody? 5 times 17 is 85. What?
85.
Right, that's what I thought. That's what I said. 25 into 100, how many times?
4.
4 times 23 is
92.
92. What's the problem with 92 or 85 minus 92? Kristen? So we have to what? We have to borrow 1 from the 3, right? We borrow 1 from the 3, okay? Okay, that's a 2. What are we borrowing from the 3? What are we borrowing fractionally from the 3? Hector? Mason, what are we borrowing fractionally from the 3? I can't hear you. A representative of 1, somebody want to go a little bit more clear than that. Okay? Caleb. Fractional representation of 1. What fractional representation of 1 are we going to use for this problem, and why are we going to use that for this problem? Frankie.
100. Using hundreds as your common denominator.
Right, you're going to use 100 hundredths because 100 is the common denominator. To do this, what I simply do, and what John did in the shortcut version, was I add 100 plus 85, and that gives me 185. Right? And then I do my subtraction. 185 minus 92 is what, John?
93.
93 over 100. 93 100ths. 2 minus 0 is 2. So the difference between, in miles, between Mount McKinley and Spruce Knob is 2 and 93 hundredths, correct? Yes? Any questions on that? All right? So number 20, put the number 22, and put the subtraction problem. Those of you not done, please continue working. Thank you. What? 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 You got a problem?
No.
Good. You got a problem? What?
Oh, no, we didn't do that. I heard a snowball that part of the I just saw with
Well, your shirt says number 1. Oh, okay. You're not number 1.
I'm number 24.
Who's number 1? Yeah. Okay. Always, forever.
I thought it was all answered.
What? Where? What?
Oh, I got it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have me self-conscious all day.
There's like
Where? Right there? That one? What? Or on the... Where? Where? All right, well, whatever. Wait, let me... What? Yeah, but you can't see anything. They can only hear something. Anyway, all right. For everybody listening to this at home, okay, all right, so you had 8.5 minus 3 3/4. All right, 4 is the common denominator. 2 into 4 twice times 2 is 1. 2 is less than, or 2 is less than 3, so you have to borrow. Okay, 2 halves, you add the 4 and the 2 together, you get 6/4. 6 minus 3 is 3 3/4. 7 minus 3 is 4 4 3/4. How many got 4 3/4 for that problem? Good. The answer to number, okay, turn to page 353 of Envisions, please. And we're going to look at rivet. This is, I mean, not Envisions, I mean passport. 353 is passports. I apologize. Quiet, thank you. We're going to look at rivet. This is obviously going to be a homework assignment for the starting class. This is obviously going to be done on composition paper, and you should already know that you are going to have a couple of different things that need to be done. Although this mathematically, Jacob, wait a minute, is a little different than what we've done in the past. So, if you will please follow along with me as I read about it. Tree frogs protect themselves in many ways. For example, both the poison dart and the strawberry poison frogs protect themselves from predators by having poison in their skin. Other frogs, like the Cape tree frog, protect themselves by changing color to match their surroundings. Tree frogs can be identified by the sounds they make. The 1.5-inch stripeless tree frog, which probably doesn't have any stripes on it, makes it sound like a duck quacking. Quack, quack, quack. I guess that's how it goes, I don't know. The 2 7/10-inch red-banded rubber tree frog calls with a trilling noise. And the 1 4/5-inch ornate tree frog sound is almost like a cat's meow. By the way, the ornate tree frog is very appropriate for this time of the year, because we look at ornate decorations. Very good. I know it's a good one. Everything I say is a good one. The glade tree frog, which you sometimes find in the deodorizing aisle. Very good. Cries with a scream and a series of quacks. While the 2 7/10-inch foam nest tree frog, which probably used for shaving, has a quiet. What? Recording? What? If Dylan's absent and Matt's absent and Matt's absent, shouldn't they get the overall fright? I mean, it's not fair to them. They miss all the fun, you know? I mean,
This is called fun.
Oh!
It's the same thing.
Kristen Dwight.
Good job.
All right, let's look at numbers 1 through 5 quiet. Number 1, write a sentence that orders the stripeless tree frog, etc., longest to shortest. In this case, for number 1, please make a note in your notebook of what you're going to do. For number 1, you simply are going to write the frog and their lengths in the proper order from longest to shortest. Does everybody understand that? There's no math involved. That's a 10-point assignment. Got that? Yes or no? Number 2. The diameter of a nickel, you're asked to measure the diameter of a nickel. If you were going to measure the diameter of a nickel, what would you be measuring? The distance what? Kristen? The distance across the nickel. You're not going to do that. Here is the diameter of a nickel. The diameter of a nickel is 13/16 inches. The diameter of a nickel is 13/16 of an inch. Answer question 2 and explain your answer. Show the math, explain why your answer is your answer. Does everybody understand that? That's a 20-point question. You got credit for the math and credit for your explanation. Number 3. How much longer is the red-banded rubber tree frog than the stripeless tree frog? Write your answer as a sentence. Again, you're going to show the math and simply give the answer. That's a 10-point question. Does everybody understand? Kayla? Thank you. Number 4. The largest frog in the world is the Goliath frog. It's gigantic. It's 14 4/5 inches long, which is almost a foot. Wow, boys and girls. Oh, wow, that's a giant frog, all right. It's a Goliath. Suppose that all of the frogs in exercise 1 sat end to end in a line. Then you know what you have a game of? Leapfrog! Yes! Good job, anyway. Okay? However, would the line be as long as the Goliath frog explained? So, for number 4, you're going to do the math and the comparison and then answer the question. That's 20 points. Brandon, I hope you're writing this down because I'm telling you, this is the way it's got to get done. Thank you. The tapi or whatever tree frog is 3/10 inches longer than the stripeless tree frog. That means the stripeless tree frog, very exact. Tapi tree frog is longer. How long is a tapi tree frog? Explain. So again, for number 5, another 20-point question. Show your math and explain your answer. Does anyone have any questions about the assignment? Once again, this gets done on composition paper, showing your math where I told you to, explaining where I told you to, right? And then getting your work. So number 1 is 10 points, right? Number 2 is 20. Number 3, what did I say, was 20? Yes? 10. Number 3 is 10. So that's 10, 20, 40 points so far, and the last 2 are 20 each. So that's 80-point assignment. Remember the explanations. I gave you the sample sheet before of the explanations.